pleasure to be here with you today. Now, it's kind of traditional for speakers to start a presentation by saying it's a great pleasure to be with you. But I'll just give you maybe two facts. Firstly, where I live in the Netherlands, it was -2 degrees this morning. So would you prefer to be there or here in Mumbai with such a beautiful climate? And it's not only the weather that's cold, but we're in the depths of a recession in Europe. So in many parts of Europe, people are very depressed. And it's very good to be here in India, where you have such a dynamic, growing society and business environment and retail, and to be in a meeting with such opportunities and optimism. And you know, the depression in Europe is affecting everybody, even affects the animals and the birds. So unlike India, where in the morning the birds get up and fly around and sing, in Europe a lot of the birds now get up in the morning, they lie on their backs in their nests and they cough. And that in a sense is the difference between our societies. We're in a recession, we're in a difficult period, but as a gentleman said this morning, we'll come out of it. And the retailers who do well now will do exceptionally well in the future. Now, I've been asked to share with you this morning some ideas on hypermarkets and the development of hypermarkets and the opportunities. And that is just part of our business. And our business is driven by our strategies and our people. And it's out of the strategies, the people and their values that our formats come. And I need to first explain to you a little about SPAR, because we are a very different organization. Because we're not a multinational. We're not a multinational corporation. We are really a cooperation of retail partners all over the world. And just to prove to you that things change and things remain the same, we were founded in the Netherlands in 1932. And why were we founded in 1932? Because it was in 1928 that F.W. Woolworth first came to Europe. So the first multinational retailer arrived in Europe in the late 20s. I think the people in South Africa innovated when they opened their company called Woolworth, which was quite a separate company. But our founder, Mr. Adrian van Wel, was a wholesaler in the Netherlands. And he was a great visionary, and he saw that international chains and national chains would grow. So what would happen to the independent retailer? And here he is thinking about this in 1932, while you're thinking about it here in India in 2012. Now, he was a bit ahead of his time, but what he decided was that the best thing would be for the retailers to work together under the one brand, which he called SPAR. So they would work under the one brand, they would face the consumer under one brand, they would face the industry under one brand, and they would be seen as a chain. And the word SPAR are the innate first letters of the Dutch words, which mean that through joint cooperation, all benefit. And that was the meaning of SPAR in 1932, and it's the meaning of SPAR today. It may sound like a very loose idea, but when I tell you that we are now present in 35 countries worldwide, from the north of Norway and Tromsø above the Arctic Circle, all the way down to Brisbane in Australia, from the west coast of Ireland all the way to the east coast of China. So the business idea, the strategies have worked, but the business has been driven by our retail partners who own the business. And it still grows very strongly. We grew last year by 1.3 billion euros, which means that our total worldwide retail sales are now 30 billion euros, up 4.5% last year, which I'm reliably informed is equivalent to 180,000 crows. So it is a huge business, owned, driven by independent retailers. And let me give you one or two examples. Our most successful retail operation is in Austria. Now, this is a country in which Spar has a 29.5% market share. It's a country of 8 million people where we have 1,500 stores. Of these, 64 are hypermarkets, 750 are large supermarkets, and another 750 are stores operated by independent retailers. So when you think of saturation, just think that we alone in Austria have 1,500 stores in a country with a population considerably less than Mumbai. This may tell you something about the future of the retail industry in India. Our second most successful country is South Africa. And here the Spar operation is different to Austria because it's almost 100% independent retailers. A business which has doubled its sales in the last 5 years and now stands at about 4.5 billion euros, with almost all of the 850 stores operated by independent retailers. Now, I could continue with example after example, but I think these two make the point. Independent retailers working together in partnership with the right structure, with the right store formats, can be hugely successful. So we have